All right, let's get to the final now. It's the Scorchers and the Sixers in Perth. They've both had an interesting ride. We'll start with the Sixers. And I remember talking to Moses Enriquez on the Surge, I think it was on New Year's Day, after they beat the Renegades, but it was a bit of a sort of scrappy kind of affair. And he actually talked about how he was concerned that the team was almost a bit complacent, a bit rusty. They just couldn't quite get themselves going. I think, at that point in the season, they were just a bit below 50-50 win-loss. But they clearly have turned it around. What have you liked from them to see them actually elevate themselves back into a final?
Obviously, having the injection of Steve Smith to the top of the order,
That does
that brings
help.
that brings a lot of runs. It brings a confidence to the rest of the group, which is unquantifiable generally. But the the fact that he walks in and says, "You know what? I'm the big dog here. I'm going to play how everybody expects me to play and how I want to express myself in T20 cricket." So that's one piece of the puzzle. I think having a really clear structure that they go with how they set up with the ball. They've got Mitchell Starc coming back, one of our all-time greats, but then you've got Dorcas, who's been in really good form. Sean Abbott, the experience that he brings. Ben Menenti and Joel Davies with the spin options as well. So they look like a side that can beat anybody in any conditions. And complacency in T20 cricket is one thing. And like Moses said, maybe you turn up against the Melbourne Renegades and you go, right, have a look at our side. We'll get the job done. And then you get a scrappy win. But that can also be a real reset for you as well and go, right, that didn't go well. Why didn't it go well? What do we need to do better? And from then on, they've been brilliant. They've been really clinical, besides the first final that they played in Perth, where they absolutely butchered a run chase, where they couldn't get Steve Smith on strike and they were losing wickets at the other end. And that was a bit chaotic and uncharacteristic from the Sydney Sixers. But yeah, they've got the experience to win big moments in big games, and that's why this final is so important for both teams, I think, because they've got a similar sort of makeup to their side where you've got guys that have been there and done it so often. It'll almost be a shock to them if they don't get over the line.
You've played a lot of cricket with Steve Smith, a lot of white ball cricket with Steve Smith. What you're seeing at the moment, is that the sort of quality that should be in a World Cup squad? Should he be going across to the subcontinent? And just purely from a batting point of view, what are you liking from him? How good is it what we're seeing at the moment from Smith?
It is unbelievable. T20 cricket is hard, no matter what level you play, and hard to be consistent and consistently good at that level where he's striking around 200, almost taking the mickey at times. So I'm just loving seeing him play with that absolute freedom. He says, you know what, I am dropping down a level from international cricket, and I'm going to show you how much better I am than everybody else. And it's been brilliant to see, and it should be brilliant for the young players, both at the Sydney Sixers, to get the opportunity. So I text Greg Shipperd the other day, and after the first final that they lost, and I said, "Do your blokes not understand that you're batting with probably the greatest player they'll ever see? Enjoy batting at the other end, get him on strike, and watch the show." But they're all trying to compete with him, and you don't do that. I learnt that the hard way, trying to compete with David Warner. You're never going to win that battle. You can't do it day in, day out. So just enjoy the show and appreciate what you've got. In terms of the World Cup, I think that the decision that you have to make is he's competing for one spot, I think, and it's him or Travis Head at the top of the order. I think the way that Australia is structuring up their side with some all rounders and serious power, they want they want that from number three onwards when they've got it from the top right the way down to number seven. So Mitchell Marsh is captain, Travis Head's the other opening batter. So he's competing for one spot, in my opinion. The flexibility of the rest of the players in the squad, and Andrew McDonald's talked about they want to be a team that puts it all on the line and goes hard from ball one. So they've got, I think Cameron Green will bat at three, Tim David four if he's fit, Marcus Stoinis, Josh Inglis, Glenn Maxwell. So there is that stability player in there, and it's Josh Inglis, and he's the keeper. So you're not getting that spot, and you're not winning the battle against Travis Head. So yes, it's unfortunate. It's not what people want to hear, because they go, well, have a look at the form he's in. He has to play, but there also has to be a spot there for you to get a game. And Travis Head's a pretty good one to have in your back pocket if you're the Australian cricket team at the moment.
Even as you're rolling through that team now, it's a very strong team, and you can certainly
Mm.
understand why he isn't there at the moment. Particularly the fact he doesn't bowl. If,
Yeah,
there's so much versatility in that Australian team that on any one day you might bowl 4 overs, you might not bowl at all. You might bat at 3, you might bat at 7. I mean, they've got that flexibility in that team.
Yeah, they do, and the fact that there's the all rounders in there that will say, right, we can go two quicks and two genuine spinners, or we can go with one quick and then use Cameron Green and Marcus Stoinis, and then we can play three spinners, including Maxwell with the ball, or Cooper Connolly should they go the left-handed option in that middle to lower order as well. So yeah, I think the way that the team's fronted up now, and the way Andrew McDonald and Mitch Marsh have got it going, that it's a tough team to get into because of the versatility of all the players there.
We're talking to Joel Davies shortly, Finchy. I'm fascinated in your views on what he's been able to do. A 22-year-old, the younger brother of Ollie Davies, but what he's been able to do through the tournament. Obviously, it's had an impact on the Sixers, but just from an individual point of view, I'm not sure I can remember a player that's risen as much as he has, where he actually contributes with ball, with bat, but also in the field.
Yeah, he's a wonderful young talent. I've loved seeing him go about it throughout the season. Even just chatting to him around games and at airports. I had a good chat to him the other day. Um, eh, eh, there's a real calmness and a real confidence about his ability. But you should see the smile he has on his face every time someone wants to talk cricket with him. He's just a kid who is excelling at his skills at the moment. I love what he brings to the table. He's somebody who can have a huge career for Australia. He showed last night. He just walks in and goes, you know what, power surge. Yeah, I'll take on the leg spinner 4-6, catapults that team and that momentum in the power surge, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, no, he's been amazing. So as we sort of switch across to the Scorchers, but then also factoring in the fact that these two teams played in a final only a few days ago, and as you said, it was a dominant performance from the Scorchers. Does that have a lot, a little bit, or no kind of impact on how the game will be played in the final?
I don't think it'll have any impact, to be honest, Whitey. You say with a dominant performance, but Finn Allen was the only player who really got going with the bat. He got 49, I think it was,
Yep.
and they only got 147. So 9 times out of 10, you look at the Sydney Sixers and you say, right, perfect run chase. We've got Babber at the top. We've got Steve Smith. Babber, you can anchor down the innings. He gets out early. That happens. But then they just imploded. They didn't have a plan for fast bowling through the middle overs with mid on and mid off up inside the circle. They just smacked the wicket, and guys kept trying to hit the ball aerial. So they will come with a better plan. They will come more well prepared than what they were the other night. So I think that it actually works the other way. I think that favours the Sydney Sixers because they go, you know what, we didn't play very well, and we still got reasonably close. On paper, it was still 20 odd runs, but we're only chasing 150. So from that point of view, big tick. We got our bowling right. We shut down a really powerful Perth lineup. Steve Smith got in good form. Well, he was in good form. We just couldn't get him on strike enough in the power plays. If bowled, he faced three balls, I think, in the first 4 overs when you're trying to maximise that first power play. So I think that they'll go with a lot of confidence. Say, yeah, we didn't get it right, but we were also really close still.
Marley Bidman and Steve Smith. I mean, it was such a great battle to watch the other night. He gets another crack at him, the youngster coming through.
Yeah, he was really impressive. He has been all year. Every opportunity that's been presented to him, he's taken it. Um, what I love about his game is it's not just right. I run in and I bowl fast, and I've got nothing else to go to if that doesn't go well. He looks like a player who thinks his way through situations as well, which is a great sign for such a young player. He knows when to use his slower balls. He knows when to almost bluff a batter as well. So yeah, his upside is enormous. I've loved what he's brought to the table. I love his passion. And the other night he was bringing out the Brett Lee chainsaw. It was brilliant.
And of course, we've got Mitchell Starc up against Mitch Marsh. That is a heavyweight battle.
It certainly is. Yeah, Mitch loves pace on the ball. Mitch Starc loves bowling fast, so it'll be a fascinating matchup. I wouldn't be surprised if they threw some spin early on at Marsh and Finn Allen, maybe an over of Davies. Let's ask him about that. Is he prepared to bowl with a brand new ball first up? So yeah, there's plenty of options that they can go with, and Mitch Marsh, he's got the foot flat to the floor every time he walks out to bat at the moment. He's not looking anywhere else except maximums.
The firepower of the Scorchers with the batting, can that come off in a final? Or is it actually going to be their defence, which they've built titles around in the past, even though it's a lot younger, the look of their bowling attack this year?
No, I think the firepower can definitely get the job done. Sometimes it's an innings of 10 balls that can have a big impact on a final. We saw Joel Davies last night just walk out and go bang, bang, bang. And that was huge momentum. Perth Scorchers, they've got players that can do that. Ashton Turner, he's been in really good form throughout the season as well. So he's a player that plays ultra high risk cricket, particularly against spin early on. So that will bring either an opportunity to put the Sydney Sixers under maximum pressure, or it'll create an opportunity the other way. Laurie Evans, he's had a stinker of a tournament, really, when you look at his numbers, but he hasn't also had that much opportunity to be able to have a big impact either. So that'll be a really fascinating middle order to see how they go about it. Obviously, dictated by whether they bat or bowl first. But I think it can. They've got players that can play both roles really well. Aaron Hardy, he's someone who can soak up pressure or be really aggressive. Cooper Connolly as well. So yeah, it's going to be brilliant.
Who are you tipping?
I'm tipping the Sixers though. I've just reeled off every reason why the Perth Scorchers can win, but I think the lessons that they learnt in the loss over in Perth a couple of days ago will hold them in really good stead. Their bowling attack is outstanding as well. So yeah, I think the Sydney Sixers can get it done.